Hello and welcome to this video in the Facebook Ads Masterclass. In the previous video, we discussed rules for managing your ad sets. You now know when to cut your ad sets, but when and how do you scale those that are making sales? In today's video, we'll be discussing how to determine if your ad set is worth scaling and how to scale. Before we get started with the training, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. I release a training video every single day on advertising, marketing, Shopify, and dropshipping. You can also join our community on Facebook. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the video. You have an ad set that has made at least one sale and got through your first 3 benchmarks. Now what? Before you start scaling to the moon and going to bed dreaming about what color Lambo you're going to buy next week, we have to think about this logically. 1 sale could be luck, 2 could be coincidence, 3 is more likely to be a pattern. I always wait until I made 3 profitable sales before I ever start to scale a single interest. One of the biggest mistakes that I made when I first started off was taking one single point of data and making a decision. 1 sale meant a winner, 1 day with a high CPC meant it was a loser, 1 add to cart abandoned and I had to redo my website because it wasn't converting. The most important skill to develop in this business is patience. You must exercise patience and restraint when you're looking at data. Always try to look at a bigger picture and not just a single point in time. Let's say you have this ad set. We've been getting consistent sales at $14.91 per sale, which is in profit. I've made well over 3 sales. Now what? Do not stop the ad. Do not change the budget. Don't mess with the perfection that you see here. Instead, select this ad set and click the handy dandy duplicate button. We're going to duplicate this 3 times into a brand new campaign. If you're doing this as a CBO, which I suggest, start your budget at the same level as the previous campaign or ad set you had brought this from. If you had ad set budget on and were spending $5 a day, then set the CBO budget to $15 a day, $5 for each ad set. Similarly, if you had CBO on and the CBO was $30 a day, create the new campaign with $30. This will be important in the next step. This is where I expect to hear, but Joe, what's next? Valid question. Next, we gather data on these ad sets. Any that reach 3 sales, we repeat, but double the budget. CBO was 30 and you made 3 sales on a single ad set, duplicate that ad set into a new CBO 3 times with a budget of 60. Got 3 sales again? Do it again. Repeat this process until you see diminishing returns, to a point where you aren't profitable, and cut back the last CBO you made. This should scale you very quickly to $500 to $1,000 a day in ad spend on a single interest if it's a real winner. Then I expect the following. But Joe, what if it doesn't work and it's not profitable right away? Cut your ad sets that don't work and move on. Keep looking at your original ad set and keep trying to scale it from the start. If an ad set goes over the spend of its break-even point, cut it inside the CBO. If they're all cut the CBO. The way I would suggest looking at it is as follows. Your original campaign, $30 CBO. Attempt number 1 at scaling, you do a $30 CBO, it's not profitable, cut it. Attempt number 2, $30 CBO, not profitable, cut it again. Attempt number 3, do another CBO, not profitable, cut again. Just stop attempting at the 3rd time. This is when you want to go back and say, okay, I have my information, it's not working, what can I improve? I'll let the scaled ad sets run until they each hit the break-even point without a sale. If at any point in any of the attempts I become profitable, I attempt to scale that using the doubling rule. This is the essence of scaling. Just like in life, if you encounter an obstacle, you don't give up the first time. You try a few times before saying, maybe I need a better plan, and then you come back to it more equipped at a later date. That's all scaling is on Facebook. So why do we do it this way? I want to help you visualize this the way that I do. It may work well for some compared to others, and if you're not mathematically inclined, I apologize. But when I scale, I visualize an inverse exponential decay map, just like you see on the screen. You start off strong and raise exponentially until you hit an inflection point and you start to cool down. Over time, no matter how much more money you throw at your ads, you won't have any new sales because there just isn't any new buyers. Our goal in scaling is to attempt to find the inflection point where we have maximized the utility of our advertising dollars. The inflection point is the most profitable point on this map. Don't confuse this with the highest revenue point, but every dollar spent after the inflection point returns less profit than the previous dollar spent. That's what we're attempting to avoid. I'm sorry, I got into some math there, pulled out a chart and reminded me of college. Sorry. Just to recap, this is how I scale a cold audience. This isn't designed for retargeting or for warm leads. This is for figuring out the highest value for an audience who has never been touched by your company. That's all for this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more daily training on advertising, marketing, Shopify, and dropshipping. In the next video, we will be creating our very first lookalike audiences. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.